Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
Hello and welcome to Energy Updates here on Friday the 27th of November. How's your week been? Hope it's been fine and dandy. Hope you've had a good one. I've had an interesting week, very interesting week. Started off last Friday, we're all in lockdown. Unfortunately, I've had to move. I've had to come back to France in order to do some administration stuff. So I wasn't planning on doing that. So it changed my week. So I had the first start of the week very physical, right up through to Wednesday. And then from Wednesday and yesterday and today, it was a mixed bag again between doing some administration stuff and then the emotions kicked in. So we've all been in lockdown, and it's all been very sort of frustrating, really, not being able to move anywhere. So it's quite nice to move, see other parts of the countryside and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I had to leave my partner in crime, Tanya, who we've been doing some videos, and I've got to do some editing and what have you next week for that to come through. So it's been as I say, it's been a mixed bag. It's been a week of two halves. Let's put it that way. And then the second half was two halves again. So it's been a what's it called? A half-life week, I guess. That's probably the best way to call it. So let's just see what's been going on with the sun. Maybe that sort of, we might be able to pick up why and how and stuff like that. Obviously, it's interesting to know how you felt about the whole sort of scenario. How's your week been? Please do comment on down below, because although I'm living one sort of week, you may live a completely opposite week to that. So the first part of the week could have really been emotional for you. Second part of the week could have been really physical for you. So see how it sort of goes, and also it depends on your birth sign and stuff like that. So there's variables that we need to sort of take into account. This is just giving you a heads up. This is giving you a way to look at things in the way the vibration sort of works. And then you've basically got to apply yourself into that vibration, and it's obviously going to be interpreted differently by everybody. But it should give you a sort of general understanding of why and when and where and all of that crap. Yeah. Okay, so let's get right into it straight away. Let's have a look what's been happening to the sun here on the left hand side. As you can well see, this is the week that's just gone. This is the 21st, 22nd. So we can see that one sunspot in the bottom right just slipping out of view, and it'll start hitting off some flares as soon as it gets around the backside. And then you've got that other sunspots that are just turning out of view. You can see the size and the scale of the Earth down at the bottom there. And when you see these sunspots, some of these sunspots, 10, 15, 20 times the size of the Earth? So it's been quite an interesting week. And this solar flare, which is this sunspot which is down there, it's been really crackling off. And you can see these little pops. You can see these little pink signs, and that shows an eruption that's been going on. And it was crackling, and it has been crackling quite a lot. But as per usual, and this is the uptick of the solar 25 cycle, you're going to see less coronal holes. So therefore, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, let's put it that way, to predict earthquakes. And it has shown that in our earthquake prediction game. I think Denise won it. I think Denise won it. We're going to get more of these sort of bright solar flare-y sort of sunspots, which makes a zippy vibration, which is really good. But it makes also that ambient background sort of white noise in a way. So it's good to have a good solar flare that sort of kicks off in our direction. So that sort of clears the air and keeps us up moving along and everything like that. So as this solar flare comes round here that we can see on this side here, on the left-hand side, as it comes towards facing Earth, and the Earth is pretty much in the right position there, it starts dying down. And we'll have a quick look at that at the end of the show. Yeah, and that's quite important. So, because it's more of a sign of the times than on an individual sort of basis. Yeah. Okay, so let's just have a quick look of what was happening in the vibrations of the Earth, but also what was coming down in those sunspots towards the Earth. As you can see in the bottom there, that's that white noise. So then that's the background ambient. It has been flat. Those two lines, the blue and the red lines, have been flat for the last sort of 4 or 5 years. So if you count Brexit and this flu madness, yeah, of a complete and utter psychosis of the human being collectively, don't get me started. Anyway, you know, that's what's been happening over the last 4 or 5 years. It's been very flat. If I remember rightly, we had in the UK, news consisted of Brexit for 2 years, 3 years. Now we've got a flu virus for 1 year. So this is because nothing has been going on. Nothing at all has been going on. It's been very, very flat indeed, even for a low cycle. And this 25, yeah, okay, we're getting some vibrations coming up and teaming up, but it's not really going to be kicking off. I really think we're going to have a low cycle. I think we're going into this thing called the grand solar minimum, and ice ages are bound. It's got nothing to do with climate change of what do you call it, when this planet's heating up, you know, and CO2 and all of that malarkey. Anyway, so we've had that white background noise, and you might find it a bit irritating by the end of the week because we haven't had a decent blast that's come in our direction to clear the air. You know, with the Earth's vibration, it's been pretty stable. You can see that on the top left-hand side. The green lines have been quite nicely sitting. It's like almost like a beautiful May day, really. Not too hot, not too cold, not too much wind. But we did see earlier on in the week, and then that was that corona hole. I thought it was personally going to come through on the 21st, 20th, 21st, but it didn't come really through to the 22nd and 23rd. So we extended the prediction game, and as I say, I think Denise won. That's the word on Denise. I heard you're feeling a little bit poorly today, so I hope life is treating you better and your body's picking up again. Okay, so as I say, we had that sort of physical part of the week at the beginning. That sort of from the 20th going right through to the 24th, and that goes pretty much true with the corona hole. It's heavy, hard vibrations. If you can look down below, the vibrations were very nice and zippy between the 21, 22, 23. So that was the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then it sort of dropped out during the 24th and the Tuesday and Wednesday, the day that I was travelling 600 miles from southern Wales all the way down to southern France. And it was an amazing journey. I should do a video on it. It was an amazing journey. Met an absolutely blinding man called, young man called Enzo. And he'll tell you, if you get in contact with him, he'll tell you it was like a film, like a real road trip. We spent 400 kilometers together, and it just getting to him was madness, and then just driving down was absolutely brilliant. So let's see what's happening in the vibrations of the earthquakes. So this was on the 20th. This was on last Friday. So we've mainly got root and sacrum and plexus solus. So we're getting into that rhythm again of root, plexus, solar plexus, and sacrum, which sort of kicking off last Friday, which we were talking about the week before. Yeah. The 21st, so this is the Saturday. This is when it started breaking out a bit. The root chakra dropped out, and so did the corona. And you can see that fizzling across the top of the solar plexus as well. Nothing really kicking on there, and there's, you know, you say of solar plexus day, which was pretty good. I was moving. I was on my way to Wales at that point, so that was a good time for me on plexus solus. Just getting on and moving on and seeing new countryside, which was quite nice. On the 22nd, now this is the Sunday, we go back to that root plexus, solar plexus. We had a bit of throat going on and a bit of heart. Now, personally, I was going out to see some places down in Wales, to see in Pembrokeshire, in the southwest of Wales, to sort of sort out workshops and stuff like that, which I will be announcing for next year. And we're doing weekend retreats down there. So we had a bit of root, plexus, solar plexus, and the throat and the third eye. So I was pretty much following that sort of thing. I was doing something, I was talking to people, I was getting the root of the situation sorted out. And it was a good fun. It was a good laugh. It was nice to sort of see and meet a lot of different people. Yeah. Okay, so now we got on to the 23rd. Now that's the Monday, as far as I remember. And we go back to nothing really going on apart from the sacrum. There was a little bit of action down in the root. And I personally was sorting stuff out in order to get things done. And so, you know, it was an in-between day. There was one bizarre earthquake right on the top of Canada, hitting towards the North Pole. So we're looking at a bit of a reset as these sort of no vibrations really hitting anywhere else apart from the sacrum and the root, really. And then we had the Tuesday. So the Tuesday, I was just in the process of driving in my car from the UK down to France, and catching boats and stuff like that. And there wasn't much going on really there. There was, if anything, the throat, and it was, you know, that run true to my drive down with Enzo. We had a really good chat. We talked about loads of different things, and it was fantastic to get the young man's view on what was going on. And a top man. If you ever get a chance to meet Enzo, say hello to him for me, and I will see him again soon. Love to you, my friend. Yeah, the 25th, we're talking Wednesday now. So I just got back on that morning, and we coming back. This is the reset that sort of happened. You can sort of see an earthquake down in Antarctica and also very south of Australia there. And this reset, this is obviously just tying out that last bit of root, sacrum, and plexus and solar plexus vibration. And this has been, you know, the end of this rhythm here. I will be saying, as I said in another video, I think on Wednesday night on Facebook, I will be doing a compilation of this rhythm, doing a little video on that and seeing how that pans out over the last sort of month and a half, really. So this new rhythm that's coming in, we still have the sacrum in play, the solar plexus, not really the root. The crown's just balancing it out nicely. But the interesting one to look at and keep an eye on is the third eye and the throat. So we may get a little bit more sort of vocal as the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks go on. And that's not just me or you, that's us collectively. So watch out for that. It might be a time for people to stand up and sort of say, no, do you know what? This madness and what the human race is doing, forget it. I'm not buying into it. Okay? You might be, you know, you might be that. You might not be. Tell me about it. Tell me how you feel about it. You know what I mean? We don't have to agree about anything, you know, but it's good to talk. You know, that's the main thing. It's very good to talk. Yeah, so that was the 26th. That was Thursday. That was yesterday. I got into my administration phase. So that I did have that sort of sacrum and solar plexus going on. And the emotions started kicking in. And I think that was that boiling off over through Africa and not quite hitting the heart. Today, we have, we're only early in the morning, but already we've had a couple of knockings on the root. We've got stuff hitting towards that heart as well. But I'll be interested to see how it pans out today and over the next few days on the third eye and the throat chakra. So it's the end of that rhythm, that root, sacrum and plexus solis that's coming up at the moment. And it will be changing, the rhythm will be changing, and there will be a mood change within the collective humans. So just see what's been happening with you. As I say, I've had a physical part, the beginning part of the week, and then I had administration emotional part at the end of the week. How did that pan out for you guys? Did you get the same sort of thing, or did you get the emotions and the organisation at the bottom at the beginning of the week, and then really physical stuff at the end of the week? I'm coming personally into my full-on autumn. I've only got 4 weeks before my birthday, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. This autumn is different from last year. There's no doubt about it. It's interesting. I'll do a video on that at some point. Anyway, let's just see what's going on, what's coming down the sun. As I was saying earlier on, as solar cycle 25 kicks off, we're going to be getting a lot more sunspots, those numbers there, and a lot less in the way of the coronal holes. That's that 2786 and 2785 is that one that we're going to be looking at in a minute. But we do have that 2781, which does kick off, and it has been firing off a few flares behind it. If you've seen that video on Cymatic TV on the Facebook, I went through that at that moment there. Yeah, so let's just have a look at this sunspot. Now, this is the interesting thing about it. Normally, you can get solar flares that kick off. We can have an M flare, an X flare. It's may not do that amount of damage. And I say it's good to sort of clear the air, as it were. But it hasn't been really doing that at the moment. It's been giving us a lot of background noise. It's like almost hearing that, that white telly noise, and it could be really annoying, and it may make you a little bit more sort of frustrated and stuff like that. Sorry about that. A little bit more sort of frustrated. A little bit more angsty, a little bit annoyed sometimes. I know Wednesday was a very harsh and hard day, energy-wise. I felt it as well. Wasn't good. I think a lot of people weren't good, really. But I had the lucky thing, my side, that I just travelled 1,600 miles, and I wasn't really compos mentis on Wednesday. I was still trying to get back into the flow of things, So that's been the week that is. It's coming to the end of that vibration for that root, sacrum, and solar plexus rhythm. We should be moving into a new rhythm over the next coming week, and I think it will be a little bit more sort of vocal. That will take a bit time to slip through into society. You might start feeling it by sort of by Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, something like that. So you might want to watch the midweek energy update. But as I can say, that will filter through within society a lot more. And this phasing of this sunspot, so as it comes round the sun, it kicks off, does some nice little flares, gives us that clearing of the air, but not the earth, because it's firing off in other directions. And as you can see in the top here, this is just when it came around the corners. You can see that blue and the red, really nice mixing. But the moment we get down to there, it starts fizzling out. And this is it. When it starts facing towards the sun, and I ask the question, is the sun protecting us, or is it just giving us the cold shoulder? Be interesting to see. If that sunspot really did kick off, we may have had some problems. It will be back facing us because it goes around the sun and it will come back. It can last for 2 or 3 months doing that. Go around the sun 2 or 3 times till it's expelled all its energies. And if it does come back facing the Earth, it should be, I would have thought, facing the Earth around the 21st of December. So any of you solar flash people, that might interest you. I should do a video on the solar flash because it's the way the solar system's set up. It's not very, very favourable for solar flares, but we will go through that in some point. And I was never a big fan of dates, especially 21st, 12, 20, simply because we're talking about Gregorian calendar. Now, Gregorian calendar is no more than 1,000 years old, if that. Before that, we only had 10 months. That's why we had December, which is for 10, November, which is for 9, October, which is for 8, September, which is for 7. And then we ended up putting another couple of months for Julius Caesar, July, and Augustus Caesar, which is August. So, this date prediction of the 21st of 12, 20, because there's a lot of 2s and 1s and 0s and shit like that, it doesn't hold a lot of water, unfortunately. We saw that with 2012. I was doing conferences about how the whole people shouting about 2012. They were missing the point totally. And, I'd call out a lot of well-known people within the well-being area, such as Wilcox, such as Bryden, and etc. You know, they've really done. They're really not looking at the big picture. I've been following these people for sort of like 20 years now, and it's just gone. And I don't really listen to them anymore since a very long time, simply because they don't really fully understand the mechanics of how it all works. They do lovely pictures and say lovely words, but they don't understand the mechanics, and that is just so obvious. But anyway, that's my little bent for the day. I'm sure they're lovely people, Wilcox and Bryden and everything like that. I'm sure they are lovely people. I've never met them, but you know, it's like a good ad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Makes you kind of like an M&S ad. You know, you kind of think, yeah, great, welcome, Christmas is here, it's brilliant. And then you get down to Marks and Spencers and kind of go, how much? Really? How much? So it's a little bit like that with some of these people that are spouting stuff. So it's quite funny. I'm probably one of them as well, you know what I mean? Because I'm spouting stuff. But anyway, say la vie, as they say. We will see each other on the 21st, on the midweek next week on Wednesday or Tuesday, and see how that goes with the midweek energy update. Please tell me how your week's gone in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share this video, because that helps us, it helps the people understand, get a different point of view. And also subscribe and click that bell. In the meantime, this has been your energy update, and I will see you again soon. Ciao for now.